Hey filmmaker, Chung Dha here. In this video we're going to talk about powering your Sony mirrorless camera with a power bank. Here we have the Xiaomi Mi on top of my Sony a7R II. So in this video we're going to talk about how to mount it on top of your camera and also the good and the bad of using this setup. But first, a big thank you to Production Crate for sponsoring this video. You can actually daily download 5 free effects from their free library or pay an annual fee to download from their professional library. So first we're going to talk about how to mount the Xiaomi Mi power bank or any other power banks onto a Sony mirrorless camera with a hot shoe. So the first thing that you need is a phone holder or a phone clamp. This holder can be mounted in different ways. So it has a 1/4 inch screw hole here and also here on the bottom. So you can actually decide your own orientation. Personally for me, I like it orientated like this so it doesn't make it too top heavy. So to mount this on top of your camera, you need to have a hot shoe or a cold shoe adapter. This is a small adapter and quite affordable. And just screw this onto each other. And now we can mount it here. Clamp it down and put the USB port in. The great thing about this setup is of course the battery life. The Xiaomi Mi has a 10,000 milliamp battery life. Comparing it with a standard battery from Sony or like a third-party battery, it only has like 1,000 milliamps. Well, this has 10,000 milliamps, so it should be 10 times longer that you can use this setup to film with. But it also can be used to recharge the battery that is inside of the camera. So you can actually hot swap the power bank when the power bank runs out of juice and leave the camera still recording. So that is a great thing with using a power bank. However, there's of course also a few downsides with this setup. So the first one is that this is using the hot shoe mount, and if you are using a microphone, you cannot mount it on top of here anymore. So personally for me, when you are gunning with a shotgun mic on top of your camera, it's not an ideal setup using this. Another downside is that it cannot power the battery that is inside of the grip. So it's not a major issue because as this setup, you don't really need to have the grip because you can hot swap the power bank anyways, and it also recharges the internal battery, which still gives you like a 1 hour battery with that one battery. Another thing is because it's using the USB port, you cannot use like an external remote to trigger your camera or use an external remote to like use for time lapses. And if you would use this for time-lapse, you would need to use the internal app, which isn't as great as using a remote. So when would I use this setup? Personally for me, I think it's really great if I'm using this for like a long speech, long concert, or like a long form recording where I cannot just quickly replace the internal battery or replace the batteries from the grip. This would be a nice setup because this power bank be hot swappable while the camera is still recording. But also it would be really great for doing really long time lapses, because for time lapses you can't really swap a battery and it would need a lot of time to replace a battery, and you would miss like a certain section of time while you're doing that. Also, this would be great for hyperlapses, and also I think this would be great for using on a gimbal, because with the grip it becomes a bit too top heavy, while this doesn't add too much weight, and also how this is set up is quite a low profile. So that was mainly it. Hopefully you guys find this video quite educational. If you want to see more upcoming videos, please hit the subscribe button here below, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye bye.